midst. I mean, dripping with success and awards and just the iconic vision that she is. Gwen Stefani joining us.
Wow, my gosh, you got such a beautiful talking voice.
Oh,
Thank
you
for using my name with your voice. I am really honored to be here, honestly. Thank you for saying those kind things about me.
Oh my gosh, no.
You're making me blush.
No, well, we were jumping with joy because, it's not like we just get a Gwen Stefani song all the time. You are obviously active in the world of music, but it's like, something to be celebrated when we get a track. So, like,
thank you.
Tell me.
Same for me. I do think about that a lot. Like, if I really look at all the music I've put out in the world, it isn't a lot. And back in the day as a writer, I wasn't the kind of writer that sat there with a journal, like, all the time writing. It was like, okay, we're going to make a record. And then it would be go into that, like, rabbit hole of, writing this record. And it would always be a really lengthy, long, traumatic experience of trying to, like, pull these songs out. And then as the years have gone by, like, truly I am like a very faithful person, and I kind of come to the conclusion that these songs are literally just handed to me because it's like a miracle. Like when you have nothing and then you have this song that really captures the real truth of your life. And then if that song has that thing, which like somebody, knows it in like, I don't know, Israel, India, and they're like singing it back to you. You're like, you don't even speak the language and you somehow are the song. You're crying to this song. It's like, how can you explain that? And also, by the way, like, how am I even a songwriter? Like, nobody taught me. Like, it just all of a sudden I wrote a song.
That?
It's a mystery. All of this is a mystery. And so that's why even hearing what you just said come out of your mouth, I didn't have words because it's like, it's such a weird idea that you would say that about me because I don't even know how all this happened.
Exactly. And having that thing is having that thing, especially when it's Gwen Stefani. We have her here for the course of the hour, by the way. Gwen Stefani, who has brand new music out, a track called Purple Irises, which is a duet alongside her husband, Blake Shelton. We will be playing that within this hour here on Pop Rocks. We're just getting started with Gwen Stefani. Hang if you can. We'll be back chatting with her in just about 10 minutes for Fresh Pop Friday. Pop Friday here on Pop Rocks. I'm Julia Cunningham. We like to play and highlight for you brand new music, and we're honored to have the icon that is Gwen Stefani joining me here in studio. We're chatting all about her new music, a track called Purple Irises, which we're going to listen to in just a second. It's a duet alongside her husband, Blake Shelton. But before we get to it, Gwen, tell me a little bit about, where you were in terms of making this music, fill us in. Basically.
I love music. I think it's just been such an incredible blessing for me to be able to share my story with people. And it's been so healing, you know what I mean? Yeah. All the time. And having this new song and been working on this record forever. I mean, it's like one of those things. It's almost like my guilty, like steal away moments of, being a mom and trying to do everything that I'm doing, which is impossible, to do. But like, I'm going to go sneak into the studio and write a song. And I don't know if anyone's waiting or cares, but I care and I have to do it. And it's just part of what I do. And finally landed in this zone of Purple Irises. And it was like when I wrote that song, it was when I knew like, okay, I've landed into where I'm 2024 me now, because a lot of the stuff that I had been writing was like chasing a little bit, like the old me. Like, okay, like,
you created your own wave, so you have to get out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, how do you compete with yourself in the past? You know what I mean? Like, I already won like a bunch of times. This song really captures the idea of evolving as a human being. Nothing really does stay the same. Everything's fading, everything's changing. Your body's fading, your face is changing, the way you think about things is changing. And I just wanted to really capture the fear in that and the insecurity in that. And that's when I was driving the studio and I was like, a lot of the writers I was writing with are so unbelievably gifted, like that sometimes I feel like I couldn't be me enough. Like I couldn't get enough in. Like I was like, wait, I want to write. Like, stop being so good. Like I can't keep up with you as a writer. And in this session that I did with Nico and Jack and Coke when I wrote Purple Irises, it was just like I felt like I was in my zone of being me and could be truly freely like me. And that's what I love about that song, because it just really captured everything I was thinking,
I love that. And I do know, and we're excited that Gwen Stefani is here to personally introduce you to this new duet. We are going to take a listen to this track from Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton for Fresh Pop Friday, but also we're going to get into it more with Gwen Stefani. After hearing this track, we'll talk about it. So hang afterwards. This is Purple Irises for Fresh Pop Friday here on Pop Rocks. To have Gwen Stefani joining me this evening for Fresh Pop Friday, which is so rad. We have already played new music from her, a track called Purple Irises, which is actually a duet alongside Blake Shelton, her husband. And now that we've heard it, Gwen, I really want to start to maybe kind of like dig in. Like, let's talk about some lyrics, you know?
There's two like interesting times that you reference in the song. You say it's not 1999, but this face is still mine. And, you know, in some ways it's like, yes, a rhyme, but also I'm like, what an interesting year to choose in your life, because Gwen Stefani in 1999 is such like an established superstar. And with it being a duet partner, like Blake is about to sign and explode. And it's such like an interesting...
I didn't know where Blake was, because when I wrote the
song...
That's
why I'm curious, like if you guys have ever talked about that era,
I didn't
on
write
the verge.
this song to have Blake on it.
No, he just stole it. He just got up in there.
He just hopped on it.
Shoved the door open, forces
God. But like I wrote it to him. Do you know what I'm saying? About how I was feeling, and feeling like scared, like, oh my God, I have this, but you know, nothing lasts. Like nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent in this world. It's just the idea that things are always changing and evolving. And I think that is scary in the world. It's scary. This is a really broken world, a scary life with lots of amazing miracles at the same time. So yeah, I think it's interesting that I picked that time period on purpose. I mean, it was definitely exactly what you said, but I wasn't really thinking about where Blake was in 1999. It's probably like, because he is younger than me. But you know, 2014 was really deliberate.
Also a very interesting year to choose.
Yeah, because 2014 is when my life fell apart.
I was going to say, that's a turning point year.
Yeah, that was like, okay, now what do I do? And now who am I? How am I going to scrape this together? So everything that I've been doing lately in my life in the last 10 years is really just, you know, really taking it from that faith place of like, I know this is a test. I know that I was chosen. I know that I'm going to be going somewhere else. And I just want to do my purpose. I just want to contribute. I just want to be a good person. And yeah, all of those kinds of things.
Wow. Incredible to hear that from Gwen Stefani, who's joining us, you know, icon legend that is Gwen Stefani, in studio for Fresh Pop Friday. In fact, she's here for the course of the hour. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, not even, and we'll talk more not only about her and her career and this new track, but you'll hear new music from Gwen Stefani in about 10 minutes, so hang here on Pop Rocks.
So rad. Purple Irises, we're going to play it a bunch of times here on Fresh Pop Friday.
Yay!
And worth noting, like, such elements of Cool and No Doubt and Gwen Stefani, but also instrumentation that makes sense that Blake Shelton also got to jump on there. And it's so great. So thank you for taking the time to hang out with us.
Thanks for saying that, because we were very intent. Like, we had a big intention of going and taking the song to put it in a place musically that felt like we were in a blender. You know what I mean?
Yes, it feels like you with elements for him to, like, be cool on, you know? Like, it really works as a true duet.
You're very intuitive. Thank you for saying that. On the microphone.
On the microphone. No,
gorgeous voice of yours.
Oh, stop. Pull that clip from my boss. Thank you so much. Gwen Stefani, just the raddest ever. Purple Irises, we're listening right now on Fresh Pop Friday.